So many iconic moments are created at WrestleMania. We get to witness so many happy endings, underdogs rise, and we've seen many who struggled for years finally win the big title. But not every happy ending leads to a great story afterward. In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 such superstars who had a huge moment at WrestleMania by winning a major title, but their title reign afterward was completely forgettable. Let's start with the first one on my list, Kofi Kingston. You all remember Kofi's incredible journey, right? His performance in the Elimination Chamber kicked off his storyline against Daniel Bryan, and at WrestleMania 35, Kofi finally defeated Bryan to win the WWE Championship. It was an emotional and joyful moment, not just for Kofi, but for all of New Day, for the superstars backstage who supported him. But what happened after that? We all know. He had lackluster feuds and forgettable matches. And then how did his reign end? You all remember Brock Lesnar squashed him in just 6 seconds. So what was even the point of that amazing WrestleMania moment? Rey Mysterio. After Eddie Guerrero's unfortunate death, WWE pushed Rey Mysterio, having him win the 2006 Royal Rumble and then the World Championship at WrestleMania 22 by defeating Kurt Angle and Randy Orton, two all-time greats. But how was his reign? Really poor. He barely had any title defenses worth remembering, and the reign itself was short-lived. Alberto Del Rio. He faced Jack Swagger at WrestleMania 29 for the World Heavyweight Championship. Think about that. Jack Swagger in a world title match. Alberto won and had his moment, but his reign after that? One of the most boring and pointless reigns I've seen. If WWE was putting the title on Swagger first, and then on Del Rio, you could already guess how little they cared about the title at that point. Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 35 again. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Seth had won the Royal Rumble and had a solid feud with Brock. But the match? It was the opener and lasted just 3 to 4 minutes. It felt like WWE just wanted to get the title off Brock quickly. The match was average, but Seth's title reign after that? Worse than average. He had boring feuds with Baron Corbin, weird mixed tag team matches with Becky Lynch, and that awful Hell in a Cell match against The Fiend. WWE didn't know what to do with him until they finally turned him heel. Thankfully. Randy Orton, the Viper, the Apex Predator. What a build-up it was with Bray Wyatt controlling Orton's mind, Orton winning the Royal Rumble, betraying Bray, burning down his house, an incredible story. But the match? Super boring. The reign? Even worse. He lost the title just 1 month later at Backlash, to Jinder Mahal. Yes, Jinder Mahal. What more do I even say? Batista. His underdog story on the road to WrestleMania 21 was great. He turned on Evolution, stood up to Triple H, and finally beat him to win the world title. Great moment. But after that, nothing clicked. WWE tried putting him against good opponents, but his reign never really took off. He couldn't capitalize on the WrestleMania moment. Becky Lynch. The only woman on this list, and deservedly so. At WrestleMania 35, WWE pushed the Women's Revolution narrative and gave us a triple threat main event. Becky versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for both the Raw and SmackDown women's titles. The build-up was good despite some fumbles, and the match was decent. But the finish? A roll-up win in the main event? That just didn't feel right. Afterward, Becky lost one title quickly and didn't have any memorable feuds with the remaining title either. WWE always messes up when someone holds 2 titles. The Miz main eventing WrestleMania 27 against John Cena, with help from The Rock, Miz retained his WWE title. But after that, nothing. Just weeks later, at Extreme Rules, John Cena took the title back. The whole storyline was just used to build up Rock versus Cena. Miz suffered a concussion after WrestleMania, and even though he retained the title, he lost it within a month. Total waste. Triple H WrestleMania 18, Triple H versus Chris Jericho. They had great on-screen rivalry and built up hype. But the match? Boring. Triple H won the title, but his reign lasted barely over a month. He lost it at Backlash to Hulk Hogan. Would have been better to let Jericho retain, give him a solid reign, then have it go to Hogan. WWE made no sense with that decision. Yokozuna. Now this one will blow your mind. WrestleMania 9, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna for the WWF Championship. Yokozuna won with help from Mr. Fuji, but guess what? Minutes later, Hulk Hogan manipulated Vince McMahon into a match, and just like that, Hogan beat Yokozuna and won the title. Yokozuna's reign lasted just a few minutes. What was the point of that whole storyline? So these were the superstars with the worst title reigns after their big WrestleMania moment. If I missed any, and I probably did, let me know in the comments. And if you haven't seen my last video about the final WrestleManias of WWE Legends, check it out right here. I'll catch you in the next video with another interesting topic.